Hello, my name is John, and today we'll be reading American Immorality by Rebecca Hagelin, Washington Times, November 12, 2017. Rebecca Hagelin is a contributor to the Washington Times. America is in the midst of a huge, sordid sex scandal. As horrific as it is to have so much alleged sexual harassment and abuse coming to light, worse still is the reality that we should not be surprised. For several decades, American culture has been fed a steady diet of highly sexualized leftist movies, television shows, and advertisements. Pornography abounds on the internet, and sleazy magazines that used to be hidden from view and read in secret are now boldly on display at the grocery store checkout counter. And I'm not referring to just men's journals either. Among the most sexualized magazines today are those written for America's teen daughters. Graphic sex education, for crying out loud, is even forced on innocent little kindergartners. Homosexuality and transgender ideology are so pervasive and acceptable that such individuals touting their sexual preferences and perversions are given awards, accolades, and their own TV shows. Yet we are collectively shocked that sexual harassment is so pervasive. Adults love to dump on teens and talk about these kids today. As it turns out, an entire generation of liberal adults, now older, first ushered in the cultural sewage in which Americans' children continue to drown. Most of the men accused of sexual exploitation harassment are of the same generation that has been producing the garbage media for decades. Did anyone really think that the powerhouse entertainers, producers, and actors would promote an anything-goes lifestyle at work and then turn around and be respectful in their personal lives? They have been willing to create material that debases and perverts the dignity and beauty of sex the way that God intended, partly because they have sought to justify their own personal, disgusting, misogynistic behaviors. Hollywood has long been known as a hotbed of liberalism, hedonism, and abuse. It's just that the secret code of silence has finally been broken. Perhaps the most insidious of all the liberals' lies about human sexuality that they are now perpetuating is the move toward a genderless society. This time it's not so much that the elite necessarily want to switch their own genders. Rather, their sin seeks participants more perverted than they are. After all, misery loves company. In her recently released and brilliant book, Sex Scandal, journalist Ashley McGuire details the treacherous genesis and spread of the radical left's latest sexual obsession, an obsession that is destined to normalize sexual abuse and harassment once and for all. Subtitled The Drive to Abolish Male and Female, Mrs. McGuire takes the reader on a carefully documented journey into the left's dangerous agenda to create a gender-neutral world and how it is resulting in an environment ripe for rampant sexual exploitation. The result of mankind's evil attempt to destroy God's very clear definitions of male and female. Chaos. And chaos always breeds abuse. Mrs. McGuire writes, "We are increasingly trying to treat men and women as if they were exactly the same. And then we're surprised by the growing sexual confusion. Men can't win. If they don't hold a door, pull out a chair, or pay for dinner, they're jerks. If they do, they're patronizing. Women are just as confused. They say they want real romance, but they're content to move in with a guy, do his laundry, and cook his meals for little more in return than the chance of Valentine's Day tickets to see 50 Shades of Grey." Of course, that is the title of the widely popular progressive book and movie franchise that glorify the sexual and physical abuse of women. Think about that for a moment. Karen England, executive director of Privacy for All, a nonprofit campaign fighting for the protection of children in California, says, many Americans claim to oppose sexual harassment, but remain silent as some push for a genderless society. Policies that base locker or bathroom use on gender identity versus biological sex only contribute to an atmosphere ripe for sexual abuse. Allowing boys into girls' locker rooms in schools is a new form of sexual harassment that put our girls at tremendous risk. It's beyond frightening that the same leftist mentality that creates the sexualized media garbage is now busy creating laws that put America's youngest females in danger in our schools and other public facilities. Mrs. McGuire says it well. Denying the reality of sexual difference ensures that women will continue to be at a disadvantage. It makes it impossible to even talk about, let alone resolve the very real injustices, vulnerabilities, and discrimination that women suffer on account of our sex. Tragically, unless decent men and women revolt en masse against the evil madness, the sex scandal in America has only just begun. This video is a production of the School of White Crane. My name is John Brooker, and you can reach me through commentary on this video or by my Gmail listed here. Please share this video with family and friends and on social media. May God richly bless you, my beloved.